Nothing to show. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Rida, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
أيوة رضا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you?
Salam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I'm fine, and you?
Great. I'm great. Thank you very much. Where is everyone?
What, sir?
Where is everyone? Would you please allow me send a message to the WhatsApp group telling them that it's open?
Okay.
All right. So now, well, Rida, thank you very much for sending these, this much amount of messages of your voice recording of the speaking test. You're doing great. And I can notice the development. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. You are developing. And your speaking skills are getting better and better with every and each tip you're following. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Now you're improving. I can notice this improvement. So please keep it up and try as much as possible to follow the given tips. And I believe that if you continued being on the same track in this way, I think that your progress will be the fastest progress that I have among this group. Okay? So good, very good job. Keep it up, Rida. Excellent job. And please forgive me. I think that I've already done with all assessing all your presentations, right? Is there anything?
Okay.
Not yet.
No, I don't think.
I sent them all today, and I'm sorry that I sent them late. And even Mazen's, I didn't comment presentations. Forgive me, Mazen, please. I will be done with them once we are done with this, with today's class. Forgive me, Mazen, please. Okay? How are you, Mazen? Can't hear you. Again. Mazen? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Oh my goodness, there is a very, very bad background, a noisy background behind you. I don't know why. What happened? So, how are you, Mazen?
How are you, Miss Hind?
Good, alhamdulillah. I'm great. How are you? How was your day today?
It's much better. I feel good. Maybe only 30 minutes now I finish my job. But it's okay. I almost finish about 80% of the assignment, and I wish to finish the last part, which is talking about the kinds of movies in my country.
Great.
This one I did not finish it yet, so please forgive me.
No problem at all. You forgive me because I didn't, assess them on the right time. But, today was quite busy, doing too many things all at the same time. Too many tasks. No, forgive me. And inshallah,
same here.
Yeah. So inshallah, I will forward you my reply to your oral presentation very soon. Okay? So, are you guys ready for today's lesson? Today we're going to start our first vocabulary lesson. Okay, this is to enhance our speaking and to enhance our vocabulary words. Also, one of the benefits and the advantages of the Collins vocabulary book is that this book relates that this book relates all the skills, the Ielts skill together. So after we're done with learning the words, we'll have to answer all the related exercises. And in these exercises, we'll have listening exercises, speaking, and reading as well. So the very good thing about this book is that it relates everything and integrates all the skills together, okay? Let me share my book with you right now, please. Bismillah. Okay, here we go. We have the resources. Can you see my board? Hello? Can you guys see my board? Yes, no? No, yes?
No.
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 Okay, so here is my board. Share screen again. I think you can see my board right now. Here is the book, okay? Collins for IELTS, vocabulary for Collins, English for exams, vocabulary for IELTS, okay? So, and here are the contents. And as you may say, I would like you please to have a look at the contents. Here we have too many lessons, like almost 20 lessons. Yes, there are 20 lessons, okay, as you may notice, on different topics. These topics are the most frequent topics that usually come in the speaking and the writing tests, okay? So if you master these words, these vocabulary words, I bet that you will have a very good opportunity to expand your vocabulary and to learn more vocabulary in terms or that relates to the IELTS most frequent topics, okay? So did we take any lessons in this book before? No, this is the first time to take it. First lesson? We had only...
I take it before. No, I read this book before. Just reading the question.
Okay, very good. Did you answer any of the exercises?
No.
Okay, great. So in a very quick review on lesson 1, and if you look here, you will find out that the vocabulary column here is telling us what vocabulary words are we going to learn, the skills that we are going to cover, sub-skills, exam practice, and the page number. For example, if we're talking about people and relationships, then the vocabulary related would be nouns for people and relationships, also adjectives to describe character. Also, for the skills that we have to improve is the listening skill. Do we have to learn any other sub-skills? Yes. Recognizing adjectives from their endings also, and I will teach you what do I mean by the vocabulary or the adjective ending and the difference between suffixes and prefixes. Also working out the meaning of words from listening context. And finally, we'll have the exam practice, which is listening section 4, MCQs. MCQs means multiple choice questions. All right, so let's go for lesson 1 together. All right, here is lesson 1. People and relationships. Because most of the topics that usually come for task 1 speaking is mostly about family and relationships or your role model that you have to describe, or someone you like, or your neighborhood, or describe your best friend. It's mainly about the relationship with others or your company's manager or employees or whatever. So we need to learn more about people's relationships, also how to describe people, okay? So for the vocabulary, we'll have the word client, colleague, employer, parent, sibling, spouse. Do you guys know the meaning of these 6 words? Anyone doesn't know any of these words? Again, have a look at them. We have client, colleague, employer, parent, sibling, and spouse. Sibling means brothers and sisters, all right? Siblings. So how many siblings do you have? I have 2 siblings, for example. So we are 3 in all. Or 4 siblings means 2 sisters. If I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers, I can say I have 4 siblings, okay? And for the word spouse, the spouse is either the husband or the wife. So if you guys talk about your spouses, then you'll have to talk about your wives. Otherwise, if I talk about my spouse, then I must be meaning my husband, okay? So it can be the person you are married to, husbands or wives, do not have to pay. This is the example. What is good about this book is that you take the vocabulary's definition in a sentence. you do not take it as it is, just like a word. No. What's best about this book is that you take the word within context, في سياق, in order to learn how to understand or learn how to use it in a sentence. So, for example, if we take the word spouse, it is a noun. Someone's spouse, and this is the definition, someone's spouse is the person they are married to. Husbands and wives, here is the example. Husbands and wives do not have to pay any inheritance tax when their spouse dies. Okay? Do you guys understand now? So here is the way the book goes. They tell us which part of speech is the word, whether it's a noun, an adjective, a verb. This would be the first word to be written. If you notice, here is a noun. And on the opposite column here, adjective. So what is capitalized, the word which is capitalized here is the part of speech. The part of speech, okay? Okay, if you don't know much about the parts of speech, that would be my second part today. We'll explain what do I mean by the word parts of speech, which will be my grammar part, okay? Let's continue our vocabulary lesson, which is here. The words autonomous, consistent, conventional, cooperative, and efficient. Also, we'll have some other adjectives: flexible, idealistic, tolerant, and vulnerable. Okay? So these words are really important. And another thing that I want to teach you is how to memorize words or the new vocabulary. The new vocabulary. This is the second thing that I'll have to talk about today. Anyway, so let's go back to these adjectives, and you guys tell me what exactly, whether I have to explain them all or you have some words to understand. Rida? All?
Yes. All words is clear for me, to me.
All words is or are?
Are clear.
Are, okay. All words are understandable, eligible. You can understand them quite well. Mazen?
Most of the words, like 90% of these
90%?
words are familiar to me.
So when I say the word autonomous, Rida, what do I mean by the word autonomous?
Autonomous person, like a dependent person.
Very good. A person who is not easily influenced by others, right? Yes? Okay, this is autonomous. And by the way, the word auto or the prefix auto means self. So an autonomous person is a person who decides on his or herself. Okay? So here, for example, they proudly declare themselves part of new autonomous province. And by the way, the word autonomous could be describing provinces rather than people. We can use the word autonomous for people as well as provinces and countries or parts of countries. Yes? So here the word autonomous, when some countries or provinces announce themselves that they are autonomous, this means that they need to rule
Independent.
themselves, to be, yes, very good, to be a dependent province, okay? Okay, then we'll have consistent. A consistent person is the person who behaves in the same manner. Consistent يعني شخص عنده إصرار, persistency. So if you do the same thing all the way in the same manner, then you're a consistent person. For example, his consistent support for free trade made him a very successful merchant, for example. Okay? Then we'll have the word conventional. Conventional. Someone who's conventional has behavior and opinions that are ordinary and normal. So you can say, for example, I got married to my wife because she's such a conventional lady. Conventional means she's easy to obey, and she's very well behaving, and a respectable married woman with conventional opinions. Okay, so conventional here means that her opinions are very normal and ordinary. She doesn't have the severe ways of thinking. Okay, then we'll have the word cooperative. We know a cooperative person. Then efficient. An efficient employee means a person who is doing the task perfectly or successfully. Okay, flexible, a person who can easily change his or her mind. An idealistic person is a word which is used to describe someone that have ideals. Ideals يعني مثالية, a person who wants to do everything in a perfect and professional way. Okay? An idealistic person. So you guys better not to be idealistic, because this makes life like a hell. It turns life into a hell. Idealistic people are hard to live with, by the way. Yes, yet the fact that idealistic people are very good people, and they, need to do everything in a perfect way. But again, they give themselves a very hard time. You guys have to be a little bit flexible with things to let go things, okay? Then we'll have the word tolerant. Can any of you tell me what's the meaning of the word tolerant?
And how to forgive somebody.
It's very good. A forgiving person is a tolerant person, okay? Or you approve the fact that they allow other people to say or do what they like, even if they don't agree or like it. So you can say, for example, my mother is such a tolerant lady because she wanted us to go to whatever universities we wanted to join, okay? So a tolerant person is a person who does not insist on their ideas, and they can easily forgive others for their mistakes. A vulnerable person. Vulnerable. Rida, do you have any idea what vulnerable means?
Vulnerable, that mean someone who has high sense, like once you tell him any word, he feel like
someone who have or who has.
Oh, sorry, someone who has high sense, like when you tell someone that you are
sensitive.
Yes, sensitive.
Yes.
Has high sensitivity.
Excellent. Of a high sensitivity. Very good. So the word vulnerable person, a vulnerable person is a person who's very sensitive. All right. So, for example, you can say old people are particularly vulnerable members of the society. Okay. So here, let's take exercise 1. I believe it's so easy. Circle the words that you associate with family relationships, and underline the words that you associate with professional relationships. Which words are for family and which words for profession or professional relationships? Mazen.
A, D, and F underlined for professional, and P, C, and E for family.
What about A?
A is also for professional.
Okay, so A professional.
A, D, and F.
Okay. A professional, parent, family, sibling, family, colleague, profession, spouse, family, and employer. Okay. Then now we'll move to the second part, which is listen to 3 speakers talking about people who have been important to them. Indicate the person each speaker describes by writing a letter A to F from exercise 1 in each space. Okay? And now we'll have an exam tip. Before you start exercise 2, you can often recognize whether a word is a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb from its ending. So what makes the big difference? And these are the parts of speech that I wanted you to know. Noun, verb, adjective, adverb. And we still have 3 more, okay? But can I recognize the word from its ending? Definitely you can. How? Adjectives can have many different endings, but these are very common. For example, able, able, al, ant, and ent. Also, we have ic, ive, or ous. These are endings for adjectives. Okay? So, for example, for able and able, vulnerable, flexible, this means able to. Able or able, both of them mean able to. Okay? Then al means has to do with. So conventional. Is it conventional or not? Has to do with convention, right? Legal has to do with being legal. Or professional has to do with professions. Understand? Okay, then we'll have ant and ent. Tolerant, consistent, efficient. This means have. Ant and ent means have. So a tolerant people or a tolerant person, a person who has the ability of being patient. Consistent, a person who has the ability of being consistent or of being persistent. The same as efficient, a person who has efficiency is an efficient person. Then icy, like idealistic, again has the same meaning, means he has this adjective, a person who enjoys this adjective. Like cooperative, ive means full or full of. Like when I say cooperative, a person who is full of cooperation, who can do it, who has the ability to do it. And ous, like when you say autonomous, again, ous means has to do with. Okay?
Sorry, IVE?
Again, ive means full of. So when you say cooperative, means a person who is or can do something or able to do something. So a cooperative person, a person who is able to give cooperation or to give help. Okay? So whenever we have these adjectives, then we'll have to learn that these are adjectives. Whenever you see these words or letters, a group of letters that come at the end of the words, then we know that these words are adjectives. And by the way, these are called suffixes. In the English language, we have something that is called prefixes and others are called suffixes. Again, here for adjectives, can have, it's not, by the way, it's not adjectives. Also, we can have nouns. Okay? And they turn into adjectives by adding. Anyway, let me say something. Today, if we're going to learn about prefixes and suffixes, we have to learn that they are groups of words that are added either to the nouns or to the adjectives in order to give a different meaning, okay? So, for example, if I say here, the difference between prefixes and suffixes, Prefixes, the word pre in the English language means before. Pre means before. It's a Latin word. Pre means before. So prefixes means some letters that come before the word. Prefixes, letters that come before the word. Like, for example, I'm doing a recap. Pre means again. Or you misunderstand. Or you unfollow my example, okay? And many others, rather than miss, un, or re, many other words. Each one of them has a different meaning. So again, prefixes, pre means before, so these are groups of words that are added to the roots of the words in order to change their meaning. So when I say I cap something, cap means to cover or to end up. So to recap means to do it once more. Okay? So here, misunderstand. Understand, we all know it. To understand means to comprehend. But when you misunderstand, you get it wrong. Okay? Or you do it in the wrong way. Unfollow. Unfollow. To follow is to keep on. Following means to be on the same track. Okay? Or to trace some person or something. But to unfollow means not to follow. So un means not. Same for the suffixes. But the difference is that the suffixes are groups of letters that come at the
end of word.
Yes, the end of the word to change its meaning. Okay, so we have able, we have full, we have if, we have, oh, today we have learned a lot. Os, O-U-S, and so many others. So for example, if you say, this is understandable, or beautiful, or supportive, or dangerous. If you notice here, understand, beauty, support, danger. These are words or Latin roots. And then when I add these suffixes to them, I change their meanings. I either give the different or opposite meaning, or sometimes I add more to or more focus on this adjective, as if I'm saying there is much more of it. Okay, like when I say such a supportive person, my brother is such a supportive person, this means that he always supports me and he always at my back. So if here means more, he gives more and more, full of support. Beautiful, full again means full of. And please remember, because you guys make a very, very fatal mistake, many adjectives that end with the word full, you guys usually write it with a double L, which is totally wrong. Okay? Full as a suffix is F-U-L, just one L. Full. And here the word understandable. Able means able or can do something. So understandable means able to understand or able to be understood. Then dangerous, which is full of danger or has to do with danger. All right? So these are the suffixes and the prefixes. Let me play this audio for answering question number 1. So do you have your pen and paper? Yes?
Yes.
Collins English for Exams. Vocabulary for Ielts. Copyright HarperCollins Publishers 2012. Track 1. Speaker 1. I've learned a lot from so many people, but I suppose the person that stands out is my colleague Lynn. When I started working at the firm, my employer didn't give me a lot of formal training, so I had to learn on the job. I was given the desk next to Lynn, and she explained everything to me. She was incredibly efficient. She knew the job so well, and she made it look so easy.
Again, do we need to read the question once more? The question says, listen to the 3 speakers talking about people who have been important to them. Indicate the person each speaker describes by writing letter A to F from exercise 1 in each space. Now you understand it? So we have either A, B, C, D, E, or F. We have to choose between them. All right, indicate this person.
Okay.
Who is this person? By writing a letter A to F from exercise 1 in each space. All right, so let me play it once more, please.
Collins English for Exams. Vocabulary for Ielts. Copyright HarperCollins Publishers 2012. Track 1. Speaker 1. I've learned a lot from so many people, but I suppose the person that stands out is my colleague Lynn. When I started working at the firm, my employer didn't give me a lot of formal training, so I had to learn on the job. I was given the desk next to Lynn, and she explained everything to me. She was incredibly efficient. She knew the job so well, and she made it look so easy. Speaker 2.
The person I admire the most is probably my boss. She really knows what she wants to achieve with the organisation, but at the same time, she is so flexible and open to new ideas. She really takes an interest not only in her clients, but also in her employees. She really listens to what they have to say.
Speaker 3. I suppose the relationship I found most difficult, but ultimately most rewarding, has been my relationship with my younger brother. He's different from me in almost every way you can imagine. I'm the kind of person who likes to get things done, but he is a real dreamer, so idealistic. It used to drive me crazy, but over the years, I've come to really admire him for following his dreams.
Now, what was number 1?
D for download.
D for
Download.
download.
D.
Colleague.
Colleague.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay. D
D
for download.
letter.
All right. So number 1 is colleague. Number 2,
F.
F.
employer.
Employer.
Very good. And number
Employer. Number 3 is sibling.
sibling. Very good. Someone is talking about his brother or sister, right? Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much. By the way, the rest of this exercise or the rest of this lesson is your homework, your vocabulary homework for today. We'll have pages 8 and 9. So write it down, please. All right? And also, you have to learn the words related to the health topic. Okay? Read it, then answer questions or answer pages 11, 12, and 13. So for this book, we'll have to answer till page 14. We're done with page whatever above, and we'll have to finish the page 13. Okay? Including the listening and everything. You guys have this book, right? So, okay, and then what are we supposed to do? After you're done with answering these pages, I want you please to ask me whatever questions you don't understand, whatever words or verbs you don't understand. Then while answering or after answering in your copybook, please make sure you take screenshots to your answers, okay? Then at the end of the book, you will find the model answers. You are the ones who are going to check your answers. Check your answers carefully, okay? And take the score, the final score, and give it to me. Tell me what's your final score. All right? Okay, is that okay with you? So we have lessons 1 and 2 to answer both questions. One about the family relationships, the rest of the questions, and the other about the health we have to finish. All right, now we should move to our speaking exams once more. Are you guys ready? Who can remind me? Who can remind me with the speaking as fast as possible, please? ولا واحد؟ خير اللهم.
Sorry, what's the question?
Again, my question is, who can remind me with the speaking tips that I gave you last time?
Okay, we can share with us.
What's that?
The first one is سفر الزبون. Second one, his introduction.
Okay.
His introduction.
expression.
Use fanboys. Complex sentence. Fanboys, complex sentence. Examples with supporting idea.
طيب جميل. يعني you mean that you have to create a variety of sentences, simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences.
Right.
Again, simple, compound, and complex. Compound by using the fanboys and the subordinate conjunctions as I taught you last time, right? Okay, then. يلا يا مازن.
ايه تاني؟
ايه تاني؟ ده في حاجات مهمة جدا.
الكومبلكس sentence.
مالها؟
We have to use it.
Yes, this is what we just said. We have to use compound and complex sentences as well. Also, you have to keep an eye on the tense of the question. This is very important. Okay? Okay, if she's asking you, if the examiner asks you about a habit of yours, then you have to use the present simple, which is the tense that shows habits and facts. Also, you have to use your own terms that you use at the work in order to make your vocabulary and your answer a different answer than anyone else. Right? Okay. يلا, let's start now. بس خلوني كمان أفكركم بحاجة إنه we have to use the introductory phrases. Introductory phrases, which are the fillers that sometimes they fill the time. Okay? So, and I could notice that, mashallah, you can easily apply them now. It's so easy that you can apply now. Okay? Since we are only 2 in today's class, then your chance of asking each other is bigger than others' chances. Okay? So Rida will ask Mazen, and Mazen will ask Rida quickly because we only have 3 minutes in this session. Okay? Let me open my book. We are done with which tense, we're done with which exams?
7.
Only 7?
We finished exam 5 and 6, and we take the first 2 parts from exam 7, I think.
Oh, great. Okay. So Cambridge 12 again. Here we go. So we okay. I have to share screen again. Go. Okay. So this is Cambridge 12. We'll have to go to test what? 7?
7.
5 and 6 are done. So we'll move to 7. Great.
I think page 20. What? 81.
What? 81?
81. Yes.
Hey, that's amazing. It's good that we have some accountants here, which is so good at numbers because I'm rubbish at numbers. You know, it's my, if you can call it, this is my Achilles heel. By the way, Achilles heels means it's my weakest point. And it's an idiom, an English idiom that we use whenever you want to say that you're so good at so many things, but when it comes to something bad, it becomes your Achilles heels. And Achilles heels has a story, historical story. I hope you know it. Okay. So now it's not on page 88, Rida?
81.
We need to know about this story. This interesting
sure.
story.
Yes. Okay, you can search it. Okay, you can Google it. You can easily find it, by the way. Just type, what is the story of Achilles heel? Okay.
Please spell it.
Achilles heel. Here, ACHILLE apostrophe S, heels, HEELS. It's my Achilles heels. You know, the end of your shoe or the ladies' shoes, we have heels. Yes, the end of the shoe, the heels, the top.
High heel.
Yes, high heels, very good. So now forget about the heels and focus on the clothes. Oh, we already had this one. Yes?
Yes, we already finished this.
What about part 2?
Part 2? Oh, we finished part
We
2.
also
You're done with it. Hey guys, you're so hard workers. Okay, part 3, money and young people, money and society. No? No. Yalla bina.
No, we didn't make it.
So, Mazen, you will play the role of the examiner now. And, okay, let's finish this session right now because we only have 43 seconds, okay? And we'll start a new session just right now where Mazen will ask Rida these questions.